lineup of Team Evil, they are rushing your base. But on the side of Ignite Gaming, you're looking at control discipline gameplay.
Well, it's lights out and away we go. This is the upper bracket finals. This Evil Ignite fight for their spot in the grand finals for the coveted chance for the EWC at Paris ticket. Once in a lifetime opportunity and once in a lifetime for a lot of these players to show the world and show themselves what they're made of. There's no time for testing, no time for experimenting. The execution is right now.
They have to. This is our pride, our passion. That is, in fact, the tagline of our MPL SG. And now we're looking at a possible 1v1 there. But Ben really poking CS out of the lane.
It's a quick flicker. Big resource already burned by Ignite Gaming's gold laner. And I think for the side of the gold laner, I think in the micro perspective, Ben is definitely going to be doing a lot better in CS. CS needs to bide his time, play into the late game, deal that damage that he needs to do, and I think Ignite Gaming has a plan.
Ignite Gaming, they have to stay steady. They have to make sure that they can survive the early game onslaught that's going to be coming from Team Evil. But this Freya, actually the Keith is preventing the Freya from doing anything.
Nope.
But now they're going for an engage.
Oh, good block by Jay. Underneath the turret though, eventually takes down CS. But Azu still going though, testing a little bit of damage. Nice first blood by Evil.
That is the momentum they were looking for. Team Evil does want to secure this upper hand in the early game, especially with their lineup having a Freya. But of course, they still have that insurance policy, which is Vent. But now it's just a give and take because we know having Kelvin on that Fredrin, you're more or less going to be the one in the advantage when it comes to the next turtle.
Now as the next turtle is coming up in the next 5 seconds, let's talk a little bit about the gold lane and their matchups. We know that Carry and Applaud is basically late game monsters. But what's the early game looking like? Why is CS not doing too well with the Claude?
CS has a hard time dealing with a lot of the Art of Thievery coming from the Claude. But wait a minute, hold on. It's looking like they're loading up, but then this is going to be Kelvin's turtle to take.
Yeah, I think no-brainer about that. Kelvin is too tanky of a monster in the mid-game. Bezu jumps in, that's the taunt going to be activated. RWM comes in, it's Blazing Duet coming in from the mid-side. Royce who stays very alive, that's the taunt. Down goes Azu.
That was the take. That was what Ignite Gaming, this is now how we see the
future pick. Jay with a nice pushback. Powerful goes down as well. Ignite Gaming off to a very great start after the shaky top lane kill.
That was Jay. That's all Jay. Because the Fanny wasn't able to tower dive and cable out because of Jay's jump and catch. And then we saw it again with the Wrath of the Mummy. That hit on the wall was what secured them that second kill. Now that Ignite Gaming back on the board.
Bottom side, Diablo and Gear. This is, I want to bring this up once again. Diablo and Gear have been rivals since the EVO's RSG days, and right now they're back again. That's why a lot of friendly rivalry, a lot of taunts going on down in EXP. It's glad to see these two going at it again.
It's same but different as well. They are now repping 2 different teams, but let's see how much experience they've taken from the different teams and different regions they've played in, and how it's gonna suddenly change the gameplay we're gonna be experiencing in this Ignite versus Team Evil game.
Now Evil knows and understands that now Ignite Gaming has sort of cracked the code on how Evil likes to play aggressively. So they're not initiating any of these team fights. They're waiting on the right objectives. They're waiting on the right timing to be able to initiate these team fights because they want to know that they can win. Now, early engage into the purple buff. Easy to read. Can't really see who stole it, but Azu is getting stunned up, locked down, taunts it up, and blows the smithereens as Kelvin takes down that Fanny once again.
Wait a minute, they're still going all at it because Kelvin was able to take that taunt.
Gear is still going at it, taking down Jay. It's 1-for-1, but a roll for a jungle. Powerful goes down as well. Ignite not leaving until 2 hits fall.
That was a purple buff steal. That's why the Fanny was not able to get his engagement out. But because of that transition, because of that bait and switch, now Ignite Gaming has to contest this turtle from Team Evil.
Azu will not be able to steal that one up. He's getting taunted up, but not enough energy, and CS will pick that one up. Azu off to a very, very rough start.
That was mismanagement on the cables, but you gotta respect how Kelvin's knockups from his spells affected. But now they're just, right now, this is risky plays coming from Ignite Gaming.
Beautiful taunt.
Pathway.
Laura's pathway, slow down the approach, but Kelvin underneath the turret. Down he goes with the Brazos Wrap. Striking powerful down. As Kelvin still barely standing up strong. That's the taunt, and then is the escape. As Kelvin buys time for the Goon Squad to come in to sweep up shop.
This is so much. We're seeing a different type of Ignite Gaming. They are just very responsive, very reactive to the way Team Evil is playing, and they know their power spikes. They know how much of a threat their lineup is currently, and now they're just not respecting the line. That is a purple buff stolen from Azu, and that's so painful to see for a Fanny.
Yeah, for Fanny, it's like, it's easy to read. Purple buff up, straight away, let's just invade. Let's just go aggressive on the team. Pedal to the metal, let's take that buff down. So it doesn't have that energy, you don't have any cleanup if you're the side of Evil. So you're playing on the back foot. You're down 3,000 gold. There's Jay once again in the jungle, blocking here down from any escape. Gonna get pulled back, but the Valkyrie's Descent will be able to save his life for now. Purple stuck in a rock and a hard place. Will be able to get pulled down, but Ven shows himself, getting locked up. The red carpet goes down, trying to save Ven's life. Powerful, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, getting pulled back again and again, but eventually able to save his life for now.
Ignite Gaming playing on the offensive. They know that they have the advantage, but they are still showcasing that disciplined aggression because they know when to back off. They know how much they can pressure. Okay, this is too far. Let's ease it back. Let's step back because we still have objectives to take. This is Ignite Gaming's objective prioritization, very shiny right now.
Yeah, Ignite Gaming bring the magic of team fights to Evil themselves. Evil has a draft that is mobile, but not very objective heavy. And the way that they're playing now, the response is let's put the Fanny on the offside, on the off lanes, try to maintain the wave priority to buy us some time. Jay jumps in the midst of the jungle, won't be able to achieve too much for now, but they block up the escape for Powerful. It's a little bit too deep right now. Here, we'll take care of Jay as the red carpet being laid down. Won't be able to get that taunt up as Evil plays a little bit more defensively this time around.
Defensively they go because right now it's a pretty risky game for Azu, especially with that attempt on the top side. But now Kelvin's just treating the whole map as his jungle. Everything that goes to him, and then Azu has no choice but to respect that.
Very aggressive playstyle, and they have a tank jungle. They have the Fredrin in their possession as Evil tries to break through the wall that Ignite Gaming has built up. Can't seem to leave a dent.
And while all of this is happening, Diablo is just side lane pushing. We know that he's very aggressive with Diablo, but this is a different type of Paquito we are seeing. He's just providing that ample side lane pressure so that aside from the noise they're making, the Ignite game is actually creating so much space for Diablo to be doing these side lane pushes.
Not only that, it's extremely methodical. Carry has baited Azu up on the top side, and when he sees Fanny on the top side, therein Diablo goes down to the bottom side to try to push that as well. So it's basically like a tipping scales where you don't know whether, okay, Sia is going to show up in the top side, Diablo's going to show up in the bottom side, you know, your side lanes are in shambles, your jungle is being invaded every single time that timer counts down. What do you do with your Team Evil?
This is the time where you have to really use this concept called contrapostura, where they want to make sure that while everyone is on one side, you want to make sure you're against it so that you can get the farm. Because right now, Team Evil needs that gold. They need that farm. They need that space.
Purple buff will be stolen by Kelvin once again. Then knocked airborne, able to use that blazing duet to keep himself alive for now. Jay down low, able to use that Becker for a quick escape in the nick of time as Ignite Gaming will tear Evil to shreds one after another. 4 members down as Ignite Gaming will march it down.
Ignite Gaming popping off. They are on fire. The fire within them has been ignited. Holy Shield is going to be going down, and this is looking like a free lord for Ignite Gaming. Right now, Team Evil is put onto the defensive. They have to play fast. They have to make sure they can secure a base defense because this is going to be a tough early game lord to defend against.
Holy Shield indeed. Let's take a look at replay, see what happened. Jay sets things off. There's the pushback onto the wall. The blazing duet will heal, but the Appraiser's Wrath, Kelvin soaking up all that damage and dishing everything back up with interest. Just making Ignite Gaming so hard to break through, and that's why having a tank jungle at the core. Kelvin 3-0-8 on that one. difficult to break through, difficult to break down, and you're getting taunted. They're able to layer in those team fights, very disciplined gameplay from Ignite Gaming, a whole new Ignite Gaming from the ones we see in the regular season.
And now the Lord pushes in, but then now Team Evo, they do have all their battle spells to try to defend this, though they may be losing an inhibitor turret. Ignite Gaming looking to play very aggressively because time is ticking on their side.
Red carpet being laid down. Evo trying their best to do anything they can to salvage that situation. Purple buff is already up. Azu's on it, but his entire team is taking so much hits. That's 10,000 gold lead from Ignite. Evo needs to claw their way back up, and this is the depths of hell that Evo is so used to. RWM getting laid down just to slow the approach. They're trying their very best to keep that T2 alive.
That is a blazing duet.
And taking a lot of damage from CS. Oh, Diablo! Taking another one from the flag. He found the angle. He found the approach. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. That's Diablo. Welcome back to Singapore.
Welcome back to Singapore, indeed. Now they are just marching out. The fire within them has been ignited.
Ignite Gaming, igniting the flames that Evo has built onto themselves in the first game.